This is not a political channel. And I did say that I wasn't going to attack Trump, but I also can't be an appeaser to people that are in the political box. That's not a good thing to do. It doesn't matter if you become rich. That's still a bad thing to do. So we're just going to play the video now. And on the other channel, I'm talking more about relationships. And then I'm engaging in satire. I'm engaging more in doing lots of streams that in some ways or cases don't make a lot of sense and don't fit into the traditional YouTube model of doing things to get likes. To be honest, I do want you to like me. And so I'm trying to be more relaxed and create more funny commentary to where I'm more off the cuff, so to speak. And I honestly do think that in the end, people are going to respect me for not being Mr. Squeaky Nice Guy all the time and basically kissing your ass. Okay, I have to strike a balance between kissing your ass and being abusive, which is not be abusive, don't kiss ass, be yourself, but don't go too far in anger and trying to get you to like me. Okay, I've done enough for 20 years to get you to like me, to the women to get you to fuck me. And after you fuck me, to get you to fuck me again or stay with me. And I've been through this and through this loop and through this whole experience with humans. It's been very crazy. It's been very cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And so right now, as this thing is happening, until like we see likes happening, the likes go away. And then so like robots, AI is in control. Okay. And then people are unstable. So let's go ahead and play the video. Okay. So there's going to be videos here on this channel that will be increasing regarding geopolitics. And then videos on the other channel with fitness and relationships.
Under your administration,
and of course, airing old videos.
We didn't have any chaos in the world.
No.
I want to get your comments on what's going on right now in Israel and Iran, that conflict.
Brian, I think it's the most dangerous time we've had, certainly since the end of the Second World War. I think it could end up being a world war. You have two hot spots, and you'll probably have a third, maybe with Taiwan. But you have Ukraine and Russia. That's out of control. I met with President Zelensky, and I got along very well with President Putin. I think I can get it solved, but we should get on and immediately. I think I would like to be able to solve it while president-elect. If I get elected, I'm going to work on that immediately. It's going to be my first 2 phone calls. And my second is going to be we're going to close the border immediately and have people come into our country, but legally. And my third will be drill, baby, drill. You know, it's like not too complicated.
So we'll go back and play the video again and then show you some news. All right. And just do that and just, okay, there you go. Biggest solar flare since 2007 erupts from sun and Earth is in the firing line. I'm happy to see that one of the videos has 500 views discussing the mini moon. I don't really promote Clyde Lewis content. I noticed that he had a post on Facebook, everything you need to know about the mini moon. And then his boy, Ron Patton, wrote an article or a blog about the sun demons. Okay, so you can get another perspective than me. But one thing you need to hear on a regular basis from me about men, evil men, in the conspiracy movement, like men, just like the women have become corrupted, the men are also very corrupted. So men don't help men like me anymore, and they always have an excuse. You're just not good enough. You know, your argument is shit, men in the alternative media. And I think your content should, in most cases. There should be unity amongst us, none that have been covering this stuff for a long time. And lack of us, I'm old school on this. I'm an old school scolder of narcissists in the conspiracy movement. We are the biggest collective fucktards, conspiracy theorists alive today. There's no conferences. There's no gatherings. There's no pick. There's nothing but fear and finger pointing over who is the bad man. You know what I mean?
And millions of people
have bad teachers. You have bad leaders. You have bad leaders on the left and right, and everything has been division, and they're terrorists, and this and that. And the only time you really see people coming together anymore is a political rally to fight the other side. You know what I mean by that? Have you ever studied Portland, Oregon, for example? If you've been watching me for years, the answer is yes, you have. And yet people still watch me for years, should have had the intelligence to put 2 and 2 together. One time, a guy named Charles was screaming at me in 2020 on one of my Facebook groups, screaming, "Oh, are you for this? Or are you for this?" Like, just because I'm not screaming and foaming at the mouth with everybody else when the riots are happening. You would think that people would have the fortitude to realize that I'm conscious enough to have discussed the solar flares, and I got my ass out of Dodge. I'm not going to be on the internet talking about a bunch of craziness when people are losing their shit, when I talk about the supernatural. And so what Trump is doing, obviously, is just easing us into this where he is to receive the baton for this conflict. And the masses will continue without any awareness that the whole thing is orchestrated to continue these conflicts regardless of who is in power. But to the people on the ground, it's a big struggle. We must vote this way. We must vote this way, or. But that's actually not at all what's going to determine what's going to happen. No. Look into my eyes. Is there anything into these eyes that would lead you to believe that I actually believe that there's something random and that the people are deciding whether or not you go to war or not? The people are deciding shit. The power elite decides who go to war. They decide whether Joe Biden or Trump is going to stay in power, be the official president, and they decide or not if Trump's going to be a popular person who leads the people on a crusade to think that he is a god. They literally created a super corrupt system, some call the deep state, but the terminology deep state was never used when I was an old school conspiracy hat. We never used terms like that. They brought out this term deep state on new school kids. It's amazing how many old timers are on the internet that are 60, 70, 80 that never got involved when I got involved when I was young. They were doing their regular lives. They had their careers. They were not truthers. What the internet did is take a bunch of men that don't have wives, don't have lives, don't have careers anymore, and they made them conspiracy consumers. Okay, which is basically going like this and going in circles and going nowhere. Unless you're trying to go off grid, unless you're trying to help others, just being a consumer of conspiracy content is a road to fucking hell. Which is why I'm hated by my own audience. Girl, you know it's true. Can I get a dislike? Can I get an unsub? You see, the types of psychic feelings that I'm feeling connecting with you is straight mental illness all the time. There's no community. Everything is about worshiping this guy's cock. It's the same thing as that big black cock stuff. Don't act like it's a different flavor. It's the same shit. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Donald Trump, please save us. Donald Trump, please save us. It's ridiculous, bro. This dude is about the jab. Imagine, are you for the jab? If the answer is no, why do you like this guy? Do you like getting beat in the face like a whore in some black guy's apartment? If the answer is no, fuck that shit. Then how can you let this guy abuse you again? He literally sat down with Candace Owens and said, jab supremacy, I love the jab, and all types of other shit. So you need to understand, you men need to be men and act like you have a penis. Okay? Just because the system is controlling both sides, thank you for the like. I'm going to tone it down. Listen, I will be friends with Trump supporters on a friendly nature, but I am going to always distrust you for this reason. When that guy wants to say the enemy is the Persians, the Iranians, they're coming with the spy balloons, they're coming to attack, and I see signs of this, I'm concerned that people are under a spell, unless it's satire. Oh, Iran spy balloon over Colorado. Are you serious, man? Do you understand the repercussions that people could take the law into their own action if they think they're being invaded by Persia? Now, during 2020, okay, and we'll watch the video. Maybe Iran is invading Colorado right now. Is Iran invading Colorado right now?
Hey, Jill, what are you doing, huh? Sweet dog. But when we look up here, just right, so this is what you see with a cell phone, But when you got a Nikon, a Nikon, shit, no, I'm kidding. But yeah, it's flown. And when it was like about maybe over the Rio Grande, it dropped something. I don't know what's in the box on the bottom of the tether, but
And so we live in a day and age in which you're not being told the truth about the spy balloons. And so it's open for speculation. If there's a social media post that goes out, not trying to blame anyone and point fingers, social media could go out on True Social, and people that have been duped into believing everything that he says because he is seen as a savior from this Kamala Harris, Biden. I said a long time ago, they can easily just create villains and heroes by controlling what they do and then making basically it seem like, for people that think that there's free and fair elections, that you only have one choice and so you must vote in the opposite direction of the bad guys. How is that? How would the system ever make that simple for you to vote your way? I mean, logic and reason. Now, if we were just to make a video, Trump's faults 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we would be here forever, and the video would never stop. Like what it is these people that are going to be politics on left and right, they will not allow into their brain anything critical about the person that they're supporting. Do you understand? And so even if you want to be nice to, and I want to, everybody that's nice to me, in the end, you really can't trust them with your life. In the end, you have to be very cautious with political people, because if they have an allegiance to politics over you, it's like hoes before bros, politics before bros, right? How do I know this? Because I have bled for internet people. You hear this a lot. And then I got the cold shoulder from a countless amount of people. You may have seen me with a tall white man in Philadelphia. His name was Chris. And Chris, only having seen me online, okay, and never actually being around me, when you're around tall men on the internet, they're not towering over you. They're just looking at you on the screen. You're equals until you meet. And until shit gets real and very racist. And then you talk to them about that. And I remember telling Chris, about the hate of my kind and people. And it was before my time, 2013, 2014. He said, I don't believe in anything like that. And stopped talking to me completely. And obviously I was right. Chris never woke up, meaning Chris probably became a hardcore right winger, like hardcore, like flat earth, like all the way. And men, they're like bitches now. They have a temporary moment of a solar flash, and they like to be like the groupies. A lot of guys, they like to get close to me when I'm popular, when I'm hot, when I'm cool. So they can be like, look, selfie, look, Facebook tag. You like to be like the bitches. Men are like bitches now. I've never known masculine men. I don't think men are masculine. I think men are totally feminized now. The biggest reason that I say men are feminized is me promoting off-grid living for many, many years and them not joining me or visiting me, just using me for information. And then to this day in 2024, having people that jerk off thinking about off-grid, but still my fans and my audience still not actually being men and living off-grid, when I know for a fucking fact they've got the money and the cash. There's men of wealth in this audience. They've got houses, they've got girlfriends, they've got pussy, they've got kids, and they're in this audience. They're going to be doing doggy tonight. It isn't until their life begins to collapse and their wife leaves them and they lose their job, they lose their life. But the problem is, since they never lost shit like me, these modern men are capable of murder, rape, human trafficking when they lose their money because they don't know how to be homeless. They don't know how to be humble. And they don't have it in them to make videos on YouTube over and over and over, begging for random strangers to feed them, beg them, being nice to them, date them, knowing all the while that mass murderers or cartel or gangsters could be watching the YouTube channel, watching this. I mean, I get string messages. I'm not telling you all of what is there because they like to get off on that. Or they might send something when the video is live. We're watching you. We're right here. Yeah, what? So what? Men are not kind in these last days. And so there's no amount of Trump fellatio that you could do to earn the respect of men. If anything, maybe, although they won't admit it, the Trump supporters that won't fuck off like me because I have that girth to me. I have that nature to me. That's no bullshit. So even though they want me to, jerk off their master and taking that juju juice like they did, in the end, they respect me for not drinking cum. And that dude's dick is rancid. And think about him talking about grabbing that coochie, grabbing that pussy. Or just the crowd goes wild. Grab my pussy, grab my pussy. I'm just like, I became really aware of how violent Trump supporters can be and are when you're on their negative side, when they hate you and they're no longer a fan of you. And that's why ultimately I left Pagosa Springs, because of Ken. Because of that guy that acted like he was running a militia. That guy in Pagosa Springs, Ken. And he would sit there on social media, Ken, who worships Trump, and show memes of drones murdering innocent men, women, and children, and him and the Pagosa crowd would just go wild. We just go wild. And so I'm going to leave this video, man. I need to listen to some heavy metal. I was meant to leave Pagosa Springs for other reasons other than the reasons that I told you. And it has to do with those people have been so far radicalized that everything about their community leaders in Pagosa Springs is genocide, is murder, is white supremacy.